Hi everyone, welcome back to English Daily Practice. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're starting a very interesting and important topic, how to manage your money. I know that managing money can sound boring or even stressful, but believe me, when you understand it well, it gives you freedom. You feel in control of your life instead of feeling lost at the end of every month.
Exactly, Alex. And hi, everyone. I'm Lana, your co-host. I'm really happy about today's topic because money management isn't just for adults with big jobs or families. It's for everyone. Students, young workers, or even people who just get pocket money. I used to think that money management was only about saving, but I learned that it's actually about understanding your relationship with money, how you earn it, how you use it, and how you feel about it.
That's a great way to put it, Lana. Most people don't realize that money is deeply emotional. Some people spend too quickly because they feel happy when they buy things. Others are too afraid to spend, even on something useful, because they think they'll run out. Managing money well means finding balance between those two feelings. It's not about being cheap, and it's not about wasting. It's about being smart and thoughtful.
Yes, that's so true. I remember when I first started earning some money from my part-time job at university. I was so excited that I spent almost everything on coffee, new clothes, and small things I didn't really need. At the end of the month, I realized I had nothing left, and I couldn't even buy a book I actually needed for my studies. It was a small but painful lesson. That's when I started learning how to plan better.
That's actually a perfect example, and it's something almost everyone experiences. When we earn money for the first time, it feels amazing. It's like freedom, right? But freedom without control can lead to regret. The first step in managing your money well is to know where it goes. If you don't track it, it just disappears.
Yes, and many people don't even realize how much they spend on small things. For example, a coffee every morning sounds harmless, but if it costs $3, that's $90 a month and more than $1,000 a year just on coffee. When you see it written down like that, it really makes you think.
Exactly. That's why one of the best habits you can develop is tracking your spending. You don't need a complicated app or fancy tools. Just use a notebook or a free budget app and write down what you spend every day. At the end of the week, review it. You'll start to see patterns. Maybe you're spending too much on delivery food or small online shopping. When you see it, you can start to change it.
That's what I did too. I started writing everything down, and I was shocked at how much money I wasted on things that didn't make me happy. So I started using the needs versus wants rule. I asked myself before buying something, do I really need this or do I just want it right now? It helped me stop buying things that I didn't truly need.
That's such a powerful question, and it sounds simple, but it can save people a lot of money. When you pause before spending and think about what you really value, you begin to control your money instead of letting it control you. And that's the first skill of financial intelligence.
Yes, and I also noticed something else. When I started to plan my spending, I felt calmer. Before that, money made me anxious. I didn't want to check my wallet or my account because I was afraid to see how little I had left. But once I started managing it, even when I had less, I felt more peaceful because I knew where it was going.
That's a great point, Lana. Financial peace doesn't come from having a lot of money. It comes from understanding your money. You can have $100 and feel rich if you know how to use it, or you can have $1,000 and feel poor if you waste it without knowing where it's going.
That's such a true sentence. I think that's something people should really remember. Maybe we should even write it down for the listeners. It's not how much you have, it's how well you use what you have.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to end this first section. Because before we talk about saving, investing, or spending wisely, we need to build this foundation, understanding your relationship with money. Once you understand it, you can build better habits step by step.
Yes, and in the next part, we'll talk about how to actually save and make a plan that works. Not a boring plan, but one that fits your life and helps you reach your goals.
That's right. So stay with us, keep practicing your English, and get ready to take your next step in managing your money better. Welcome back, everyone. In the first part, we talked about understanding your relationship with money, how important it is to know where your money goes and how you feel about spending it. Now, in this part, we'll go a little deeper. We'll talk about saving, one of the hardest but most powerful parts of money management.
Yes, saving sounds simple, but it's not always easy. Many people say, I'll start saving when I earn more, but that's not how it works. If you can't save when you have a little, you won't save when you have a lot. Saving is not about the amount, it's about the habit. Even if you start small, it makes a big difference in the long run.
Exactly, Lana. I remember when I first started working after university. My salary was small and I thought I couldn't save anything. But then I tried something called the 10% rule. I saved 10% of everything I earned. It was a small amount, but it made me feel proud every time I saved. After a few months, I started to see my savings grow and it motivated me to continue.
That's a great rule. I actually do something similar. I use what I call the save first method. Every time I get paid, I immediately move a small part to my savings before I spend anything. It's like paying myself first. I used to do the opposite, spend first and then save whatever was left. But the truth is, there's never anything left when you do that.
That's so true. Most people spend first and promise themselves they'll save later. But when later comes, the money's already gone. So saving should always come first. Even if it's just $5 or $10, it trains your brain to think long term.
And it's also helpful to give your savings a purpose. When you save for something specific, like a trip, a course, or an emergency fund, it feels more meaningful. You don't just save for someday, you save for something real. For example, I started an emergency fund after I had a small accident last year and needed to pay for medical tests. It was stressful, but I was thankful that I had some savings.
That's such an important story, Lana. An emergency fund is one of the first goals everyone should have. Life is full of surprises. Your car might break down, your phone might stop working, or you might lose your job. Having even a small amount saved can protect you from stress. It's like building a safety net.
Yes, it gives you peace of mind. I tell my friends that saving is like giving a gift to your future self. You might not think yourself today, but one day you will.
That's a beautiful way to say it, Lana. And you know, another thing that helps is automating your savings. Many banks or apps can automatically move money into your savings account every month. That way, you don't even have to think about it. It becomes part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth.
Oh, yes, I use an app like that and it changed everything for me. I don't feel like I'm losing money because I never really see it. It just goes into savings automatically, and after a few months, it feels normal. It's amazing how your brain adapts when you make saving a regular part of your life.
That's what makes saving powerful, consistency. The more automatic and simple it is, the easier it becomes. And the key is patience. Saving money isn't about getting rich fast. It's about building small habits that protect your future and give you freedom later.
Yes, and I think another good point is to avoid comparing your savings with other people's. Everyone has a different situation. Some can save $500 a month, others can only save 10. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're trying and you're improving.
Exactly. Financial management is a personal journey. It's not a competition. What matters is progress, not perfection. Even small improvements, like avoiding one unnecessary purchase a week, can help you move forward.
I totally agree. I remember one week I decided to stop buying coffee outside and just made my own at home. It saved me around $20 that week. I put that $20 in a jar labeled Future Travel Fund. After 2 months, I had enough to buy a small weekend ticket to the mountains. That little change gave me joy and made saving fun.
That's amazing, Lana. And it shows that saving doesn't have to feel like punishment. It can actually feel rewarding. When you connect your savings to your goals or dreams, it becomes something positive instead of something restrictive.
Yes, and that's the secret. Make saving something that supports your happiness, not something that takes it away.
Perfectly said. And before we move to the next part, let's summarize what we've talked about so far.
Sure. So, first, saving is about habit, not income. You don't need to earn a lot to start saving. Second, always save first before you spend. Third, give your savings a purpose, like an emergency fund or a future goal.
And finally, make saving automatic and consistent. The less you have to think about it, the more successful you'll be.
Exactly. And in the next part, we'll talk about something even more exciting: how to make your money grow, how to spend wisely, and how to start thinking like an investor, even with small amounts.
Yes, that's going to be fun. So stay tuned, keep practicing your English, and remember, saving even a little today can change your life tomorrow. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to English Daily Practice, and I'm Alex.
And I'm Lana. In the last part, we learned about saving and how important it is to build good habits with money. Now it's time to talk about something a bit more exciting: how to make your money grow and how to spend it wisely.
Exactly, because saving money is great, but if you just keep it under your pillow, it won't do much. You need to learn how to use your money in a smart way, to make it grow, and to support your life goals.
That's so true. I remember when I first started saving, I thought keeping my money in my wallet or bank account was enough. But then I realized that money loses value over time because of something called inflation. That means prices rise little by little, and your money can buy less in the future than it can today.
Exactly, Lana. That's why it's so important to understand investing, even if you start small. Investing means putting your money into something that can grow in value over time, like stocks, small businesses, or even developing your own skills. The key is to make your money work for you, not just sit quietly in your account.
That sounds exciting, but also a little scary. I think a lot of people are afraid of investing because they don't really understand it. They think they'll lose their money.
That's a great point. And it's true. You should never invest in something you don't understand. The best way to start is by learning. There are free videos, books, and podcasts that explain investing for beginners. And the good news is, you don't need to be rich to start. Even small, consistent investments can make a big difference over time.
Yes. And I think people forget that investing isn't only about the stock market. You can also invest in yourself. For example, learning a new skill, improving your English, or taking a course can all help you earn more in the future. That's also a kind of investment, right?
Absolutely. That's actually one of the best investments you can make, investing in yourself. It always gives you returns. When you learn something useful, no one can take it away from you. It increases your value as a person and a professional.
That makes so much sense. So basically, there are two ways to grow your money: by letting it grow through investments and by growing yourself through learning and skills.
Exactly. And speaking of growing money, there's a magic word we should explain: compound interest.
Oh, yes, that's when the money you invest earns profit, and then that profit also starts earning profit, right?
Yes, it's like a snowball that gets bigger and bigger as it rolls down a hill. The earlier you start, the stronger that snowball becomes. Even if you only invest a small amount every month, over several years, it can turn into something huge. That's why the secret to growing money isn't just investing, it's starting early and being patient.
That's amazing. I think a lot of people, especially young people, should hear that. Sometimes we think we don't have enough to start, but if we wait too long, we lose time, and time is actually the most powerful part of investing.
Exactly, Lana. Time is more powerful than money. Even small, regular amounts grow when you give them time. It's the same with learning English, too. Small daily practice adds up and changes your level completely.
Now let's talk about another important part, spending wisely. Because no matter how much you save or invest, if you spend carelessly, you'll still end up with nothing.
You're absolutely right. Managing money isn't about being rich, it's about being responsible. Spending wisely doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. It means choosing what's really worth your money.
I love that idea. For me, one of the best tips is using what I call the value test. Before buying something, I ask myself, will this thing make my life better, or will I forget about it in 2 days? If I know I'll forget it quickly, I don't buy it.
That's a smart question. I use something similar called the 24-hour rule. When I want to buy something that's not essential, I wait 24 hours. If after one day I still want it, maybe it's worth it. But most of the time, I realize I don't need it at all.
Yes, and another trick that really helps me is thinking in hours instead of money. For example, if something costs $60 and I earn $10 an hour, that's 6 hours of work. Then I ask myself, is this thing worth 6 hours of my time? It completely changes the way I see shopping.
Wow, that's such a powerful mindset because time is something we can't get back. Once you think that way, you start to see the real cost of things, not just the price tag.
Exactly, and it helps you spend more mindfully. Another system I use is the 50-30-20 rule. It means 50% of your income goes to needs, rent, food, transportation, etc. 30% goes to wants, hobbies, fun, eating out. 20% goes to savings or investments.
Yes, that's one of the most balanced methods. It keeps life enjoyable while still building security. Because it's not healthy to save every penny and never enjoy your money. That just makes life stressful.
Totally. You can save and still treat yourself sometimes. The key is moderation. If you plan your spending, you can enjoy things guilt-free because you know everything else is under control.
So, Lana, if you had to give one final message to our listeners about managing money, what would it be?
Hmm. I think I'd say this. Start small, but start today. Don't wait until you're ready or rich. Just begin, even with $1, one small goal, or one habit. The best time to learn and manage your money is now.
I couldn't agree more. And my message would be, money is a tool, not a goal. It's something that helps you build the life you want, not something that defines your value. Learn how to use it wisely, and you'll have more peace and confidence in everything you do.
That's so true. And remember, everyone, learning about money management in English helps in two ways. You're improving your financial skills and your English listening at the same time.
Exactly. So keep practicing with us, keep learning, and remember, your financial freedom starts with understanding, saving, and growing wisely.
Thanks for listening to English Daily Practice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend who wants to learn both English and money management.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and keep growing in language and in life.